Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to have that discussion. Time to have that one-on-one chat, let you guys know where my headspace is with Imbibitor Lunae. Now, yes, we have been making a number of videos with regards to him, but we haven't had the discussion to simply go over his entire kit in good detail from what we know so far. Now, I do want you guys to understand here. I do believe Danny Boy, Imbibitor version of Danny Boy, has the potential to be the strongest DPS in the game. In fact, I don't even think it's a potential argument at this point. He is going to be the strongest DPS in the game based off the multipliers I've seen. The issue here is that I think what people aren't understanding is that he's not going to be easy to optimize. He's not easy to use. It sounds like it because all you do is charge up a basic attack and throw it, but skill points being an intricacy and mechanic in this game, a very prevalent mechanic in this game, that is the number one thing that is going to prevent the average Joe from utilizing Imbibitor Lunae properly. Because if you run out of skill points, his damage literally goes down the drain. Just flush it down the drain. And he needs speed tuning, just like Yukong. He has a lot of speed tuning you have to do. He needs to be able to go last, and everybody else needs to be faster than him, but he still needs to manage to go twice. Maybe I shouldn't use need, because you can totally put an attack percent speed or attack percent boot on him and make him just go one time per turn, but that's not optimizing his kit. There's a difference, right? You can do that and get away with it, but if you're trying to play him to the best of his capabilities and utilize him to the point where he is the best DPS in the game, he needs to go last and still manage to go twice, and that is not easy to do. Right now, it's looking like Wastelander and Musketeer of the Wild Weed are going to be the best sets to use for him. But it's easy to get confused and think, oh, I'm just going to put that Musketeer of the Wild Weed on him because that's what Smack said. But Musketeer of the Wild Weed has a 6% speed boost. And what if that 6% speed boost puts you in front of your units because of the set you have on? It's just giving them too much speed. See how this can be problematic? So it's going to be a puzzle scenario for Imbibitor Lunae. You're going to have to actually mix and match pieces, and whichever one of those pieces, whether it be 2-piece Musketeer, 2-piece Wastelander, 4-piece Wastelander, whatever it may be, go with the one that's going to allow him to go last and still go twice. In other words, he has to have 134 speed and everybody else on the team has to have more speed than him. That is going to be the most efficient way to utilize him. And then ideally, once you get a proper Wastelander set and a proper Musketeer set that allows him to hit that 134 speed mark and stay there, that is going to be the most ideal build. But again, everybody's relics are different. Everybody has different builds. You have like 10 speed on one relic. I don't know how the hell you managed that, but you did somehow. I have no speed on any relics, you know, so it comes down to a matter of speed tuning. That is the literal definition of what we're talking about here. So that is one variable to consider with him. And know that if you do this correctly, the man is easily capable, just to give you a number, hitting over 350,000 in a single cycle. And that is #1 DPS territory. It's ridiculous. But he's also Michael Jordan in his prime, Kobe Bryant in his prime. He's Shao and Ito. Brother does not play team ball. He wants the ball. He wants to shoot. If he was in Blue Lock, he would be the #1 egoist recruited by old buddy with the damn glasses on. He wants the ball. He's not trying to play team ball. You have to build around him. He's not going to build around you. So with that being said, you also have to build a team that is very skill point friendly. Now, yes, his ult can give him two, what is it, simulacra, whatever the hell it's called, 2 skill points that are going to be consumed in placement of your actual skill points to help with skill point funneling. Not enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, you want to be able to get fully charged basic attacks off 2 times every single cycle. In order to achieve that, you need to have the absolute most optimized skill point funneling. Now, the good thing about Memory of Chaos for the sweaty gamer is when you make everybody go twice, you're generally going to set yourself up with the second turn in that single cycle to manage your skill points. In other words, you're going to go into the next cycle ensuring that you have like 4 or 5 skill points remaining. If you know what you're doing, you can totally pull this off. If you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to need some additional resources such as Bronya's Light Cone, using his technique before you go into battle, because that gives him one of the skill points, simulacra. I can't think of the damn name of it, but the shit that gives you an extra skill point. You're going to need the healing set for your healers that starts you off with an additional skill point. All of these resources will help you tremendously in managing skill point funneling. I don't think they're needed. They might be, but for the average person who doesn't know how to utilize his kit the right way, you might want to consider the things I just listed. But at the end of the day, going 2 turns in one cycle is so important because the second turn is used to make sure you're going into that second or final cycle with good skill point usage. I mean, like 4 or 5 skill points available. That will allow him to do 2 fully charged basic attacks in a single cycle, which is looking like 350 or more damage. Because that calc was done without even considering certain variables in his kit. The dude's literally hitting like an absolute train. So, but at the end of the day, what team is going to be optimal for him? I'll tell you right now, the best skill point efficient people in the game. Fu Xuan and Lorcha are going to be your best healers, no doubt. Both of them have very skill point efficient kits. People like Silverwolf is skill point friendly. She's not the best skill point person because you do have to keep uptime on her skills debuff, which is, it only lasts 2 turns, but she's still a very skill point friendly unit. You can utilize her. Or you use people like Ting Yun, but then we run into another problem with Ting Yun. Ting Yun's kit is absolute god tier, right? One issue with her makes her problematic with Danny as well. And that issue is her benediction. I think it's her E1 or E2, I can't remember, but it literally gives you a 20% speed boost upon utilizing ultimate. So if Imbibitor uses his ultimate and he gets 20% speed boost, he's now going to get put in a position where he's faster than everyone else. You're going to fully charge and then you're going to be out of skill points when he comes up again. That's probably going to happen. So with her, you might not even want to run a speed boot. You might want to run an attack percent boot, speed tune him to 114 speed so that when he gets 20% a speed boost from her, he's sitting right at a comfortable spot that's not going to put him faster than everyone else. You see how confusing that sounds? I know it sounds very problematic, doesn't it? He's not the type that's auto battle friendly. He's not the type that's average Joe friendly. You need a lot of strategizing to optimize the man's kit. So for that matter, he's not for everyone. He's potentially not free to play friendly. He has a very bougie kit. And as I'm sitting here walking myself through these thoughts, it's occurring to me that I'm definitely going to have to do some hands-on showcases so that you guys could get a better grasp as to what it is I'm trying to convey to you. Because he is going to be a tricky unit to play. He sounds so simplistic on the surface, above the surface, but below the surface, managing this man's kit and making sure he's popping off, it's going to be hard. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is I'm sure a lot of people probably have the same thought process where they're like, oh, I'm doing fully charged blasts every single time. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you're going to have to sacrifice a charge or two from cycles here and there and do a level 2 charge and then a fully charge, right? Or a fully charge and then a level 2 charge. And I'm okay with that because he has completely different animations and combos on the level 2 and level 3. And I want to see that. I want to see him chunk a gay bulg at somebody and then see him uppercut with the dragon. I don't want to just do the uppercut with the dragon every single time, right? I'm okay if I have to do a level 2 and level 3, and it's looking like you might have to manage skill point efficiency. So that's going to be another thing I'm going to have to showcase. I'm going to have to be like, okay, and test. What is this looking like? How is it when I do 2 charges here, then 3 charges here? How is it when I try to attempt to do 3 fully charges? I think that's going to be the absolute most sweaty, high knowledge degree of his kit to pull that off. And it's probably still not going to be possible. We'll see what happens. And I guess the final thing I want to talk to you about is energy recharge. He's looking like he's going to have to rock an energy recharge rope unless you have his light cone. And you're going to need the energy recharge rope to have one less turn to get your burst up. That way he's having a better time managing his skills. But he also, it looks like he needs attack percent as well. So there's another problem. I want to make sure people understand this is not a DPS you pick up, put him on any team, and he just pops off. He is literally not that DPS. I think he's the kind of DPS where if you don't use him the right way, he's the worst DPS in the game. And if you use him the right way, he's the best DPS in the game. So that's the literal analysis and headspace that I'm at right now. And I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that when he releases, because I know how people are in this community. They get a character and he's not brain dead. And then they're just like, oh, he sucks, man. He sucks. And then I come along and do a 1 turn or 1 cycle clear with him. They're like, what I can't do that. He's not doing it. So I want to have the expectations set properly with this guy. I think he's going to be very powerful, but very hard to utilize with his kit. It's tricky. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. As always, peace, love, and happiness. And I'll catch you on the flip side.